The first thing we did on the glad evening that landed us at St. Joseph was to hunt up the stage office and pay $150 apiece for tickets for overland coach to Carson City, Nevada. The next morning, bright and early, we took a hasty breakfast and hurried to the starting place. Then an inconvenience presented itself, which we had not properly appreciated before, namely that one cannot make a honey-traveling trunk stand for 25 pounds of baggage, because it weighs a good deal more. But that was all we could take, 25 pounds each. So we had to snatch our trunks open and make a selection in a good deal of a hurry. We put our lawful 25 pounds apiece all in one suitcase and shipped the trunks back to St. Louis again. It was a sad parting, for now we had no swallowtail coats and white kid gloves to wear at plenty receptions in the Rocky Mountains, and non-stovepipe hats, no patent leather boots, or anything else necessary to make life calm and peaceful. We were reduced to war footing. Each of us put on a rough, heavy suit of clothing, warm army shirt, and stubby boots included. And into the suitcase we crowded a few white shirts, some underclothing, and such things. My brother and the secretary took along about 4 pounds of United States statutes and 6 pounds of unabridged dictionary. For we did not know, poor innocents, that such things could be bought in San Francisco one day and received in Carson City the next. I was armed to the teeth with a pitiful little Smith & Wesson 7-shooter, which carried a ball like a homeopathic pill, and it took the whole 7 to make a dose for an adult. But I thought that was grand. It appeared to me to be a dangerous weapon. It only had one fault: you cannot hit anything with it. One of our conductors practiced a while on account with it, and as long as she stood still and behaved herself, she was safe. But as soon as she went to moving about, she came to grief. The secretary had a small-sized Colt revolver strapped around him for protection against the Indians, and to guard against accidents, he carried it uncapped. Mr. George Bemis was dismally formidable. George Bemis was our fellow traveler. We had never seen him before. He wore in this build an old original heirloom revolver, such as the reverend people called the pepper dogs. Simply drawing the trigger back, cocked and fired the pistol. As the trigger came back, the hammer would begin to rise and the barrel to turn over, and presently down would drop the hammer and away would speed the blow. To aim along the turning barrel and hit the thing aimed at was a feat which was probably never done with an element in the world. But George's was a reliable weapon nevertheless, because as one of the stage drivers afterwards said, if she didn't get what she went after, she would fetch something else. And so she did. She went after a deuce of spades, nailed against a tree once, and fetched a mule, standing about 30 yards to the left of it. Bemis didn't want the mule, but the owner came out with a double-barreled shotgun and persuaded him to buy it anyhow. It was a cheerful weapon, the Allen. Sometimes all its 6 barrels would go off at once, and then there was no safe place in all the region around but behind it.